You know, there aren't many people who deal with as much tape as John Barresse does. Right now, Barresse is ripping it open, but in a few minutes, the tale of the tape will be completely different.
How'd the jamboree go?
JB, as everyone calls him, is a certified athletic trainer. He and other trainers cover 5 Central Oregon high schools thanks to the support of the Center Foundation.
The biggest thing as an athletic trainer is to try and prevent things. So I've been out here 3 days a week during the summer holding an open weight room, trying to get the athletes stronger and being able to do just kind of evaluation to see where their weaknesses are, if they're predisposed to certain type of injuries, things of that nature.
We've all seen the videos from across the country, young athletes colliding, sometimes with frightening violence, into one another, and athletic trainers running to assess the damage.
When you're coaching, and I coached lacrosse and I coached football up until a couple years ago, when that kid hits the ground, doesn't get up, and you want to run out there with the best intentions, it's a great feeling to know you have an objective trainer there who is there just for those scenarios. And I've had trainers come up and say, he's okay, he's going to be fine, to call 911 right now and stay on the phone. So it's always good to have that person who has the expertise to take control in the situations in both extremes.
JB insists that injuries can be as, or even more, instructional to young athletes than their actual sport is.
They learn how to persevere. I think they also learn limitations of their body. And as you start to learn that, hey, my body has limitations, I'm not invincible. I'm 16, but I think I'm invincible, but then find out that you're not. You start learning about just limitations in the rest of your life as well, and you start learning how to overcome those. So I mean, injuries in general, I mean, it's just something that it's a task that hand you don't want to have to deal with, but you have to. And there's many different things in your life that are going to be set before you that you're really not going to want to deal with, but you're going to have to figure out how to do. And so I think that's a big life lesson working through an injury.
Especially in a school the size of Sisters High, JB is a jack of all trades. But one thing that all trainers have in common with each other goes back to the tape.
Classically, typical patch-up job has got to be either the wrist tape or the ankle tape. I mean, that's always what you see, you know, the trainers on TV, the movies, what they're doing is they're always either taping up someone's wrist or taping up someone's ankle, and it's just as simple as they tweaked it. Or when it comes to game type situations, a lot of times you tape a lot more kids on game days. It's, you know, kind of like going into battle, but they want to be that much more prepared. So it gives them that much sense of a confidence that, you know, they're not going to get injured, they're going to be able to go as hard as they can. It's an excellent chance to get to know the athletes a little bit more, because you have them captive there for, you know, a couple minutes. So you get to find out a little bit more about them, what makes them tick, and that helps you understand when they do get injured, you know, kind of the severity of the injury. You know, there's certain kids that you get to know, and when they're down the field, I mean, buzzers go off like, oh crap, this is serious, because I mean, you know, this kid's not going to stay down for anything.
Especially after spending 3 years at Sisters High, JB says he's never been pressured by a coach to send athletes back into competition before they're ready.
In general, coaching staff, I mean, they want their kids back, but the coaches are out here because they want to make these kids better. They're not out here for them. They want them to be able to compete and learn those life lessons. So, I mean, they want them back as safely as possible. And being my 3rd year here at Sisters, been able to develop the relationships with all those coaches where it's not really a whole lot of questions asked anymore. I might get like, really? That long? But then it's like, hey, yeah, there's A, B, and C going on. They're like, okay, got it, good. So get them back as soon as possible.
He's a great communicator with me and the parents, and I don't think when your kid's involved you can have enough communication. I mean, he has been very clear and said these are the steps that happen, and especially with all the attention we're getting with concussions and all that. And the last thing we want to do is a kid to get hurt by playing sports. Sports are supposed to help them for life, not hurt them for life. And so he's able to help us get the kids back in the field and with total confidence again.
When I asked JB what makes him most happy as a trainer, he was quick with his answer.
A good season for me is when I'm bored. It means everyone else is healthy.